I'm Yuri.
I'm Jakub.
We're going for a drive. ...2019 Toyota Corolla.
SE upgrade.
Hatch manual. So there's an XSE.
Yes, there is.
This is new for this year.
Well, the hatchback is all new, yes.
The body style and everything.
Yep.
Why is everyone so excited?
Okay, I think I figured it out. It's because the Corolla was always so boring.
And now it's less boring and more exciting looking?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the SE. The XSE is the top trim.
Yes, and it gets body kit and some other little stuff.
No manual transmission in the XSE.
That's right, which is why we opted for the SE upgrade.
All the reviewers have reviewed that cool blue color. We wish we could have, unfortunately we didn't, but whatever.
Silver.
Different thumbnail.
To be honest, I do wish this was in blue.
Yeah. Horsepower and torque.
168 horsepower and 151 pound-feet of torque. From a 4-cylinder, 2-liter engine, naturally aspirated.
And that's the same engine in the XSE as well.
Yes, the XSE does not get a power upgrade.
But the XSE only gets the CVT, which everyone's been raving about because it's got a real first gear or something.
Something like that. We haven't driven it, can't talk about it.
So this is actually kind of slow in comparison to all the other little hatchbacks in the segment.
It's relatively close in terms of horsepower, relatively. It's in the ballpark.
I guess we've been driving a lot of upgraded hatchbacks and there's no faster motor for this car.
Exactly.
So we drove the Elantra GT Sport.
Yes, we did.
This doesn't compete because it's too slow.
Yeah, it competes with the regular Elantra GT.
And this would compete with the base Veloster, not the Veloster Turbo that we drove.
Yes, and it would compete with the base Civic that we drove 2 years ago.
Which is kind of hard to remember, but I think we kind of remember.
Yeah, I think I remember. I can make a justified comparison between those two.
So I want to start with looks.
Yeah, I think that's a good place to start.
They definitely made it look cool.
Yeah, it looks a lot more exciting than it ever has.
What's your favorite part?
The headlights, the whole front end.
I think the headlights are really cool, except for one major flaw.
I know what it is.
The daytime running lights look amazing, but you have to have the normal headlights on when you're driving, when the e-brake is off and you're in gear.
That is exactly the problem. I wish you could just have the LEDs on.
The taillights are awesome.
The taillights are good.
Just really good lines and everything.
Wait, but more on the front end.
Okay.
I think it looks like a better version of the Prius front end.
Less quirky.
Yes, the Prius version is appropriate for the Prius, but
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is a better version of that front end.
And from the side, the hatch doesn't look too hatchy, but the XSE does get a bigger wing, which adds to that.
Yeah, and I believe you can also option it on this one as a dealer installed option.
You know what my favorite looking Corolla of this is?
What's that?
That photographer guy's camera one.
Oh, Larry Chen.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out that guy. He can take pictures.
That one looks really cool. That's Moto Crane, kind of like the Russian arm, but discounted.
Okay. From the side, I think this car looks really small, and I'll get to the smallness all later because this car does feel kind of small to me.
Probably the best looking Corolla though.
For sure.
They just introduced the sedan.
Yeah, which looks very similar to this one.
The hatch looks better, obviously.
Obviously.
But then they got a different front end grille where it comes all the way across, doesn't dip in.
Yeah, and then the fog light LEDs are a little bit different too.
Oh, one more thing I wanted to mention about the styling designs. You know how the headlights kind of swoop into each other?
Yes.
And then the bumper swoops down and then swoops up and around.
Yes.
They just follow those cool lines across the whole thing, and I really like that.
I really like the wheels because this is the SE upgrade. It gets the optional better wheels. The base wheels are just way too small for this car.
A couple daily driving aspects of this car that I really enjoy is the keyless entry.
The keyless entry is very nice.
It works perfect. It unlocks the door with your hand in there. You can touch to lock it. When I unlock the door, it unlocks the passenger door. How many different cars do we get in where you try to use keyless entry and then your wife is sitting on the other side is it open yet? They nailed it here.
I do fully agree with that.
What's cool about the trunk is there is a little latch for the spare tire compartment to latch onto the privacy cover.
That is a very unique feature.
And you showed me that the headrests have a very unique fold down.
Yeah, you lift them up, then tilt them forward so that you can fold the back seats down quite easily.
Now I guess we can segue that into a box test.
Yeah, okay. 6 and 7.
Not as good as the Civic at all.
That was really bad.
So there's comparison number 1 to the Civic.
Yeah.
The Civic did 10 or 11 boxes.
Yeah.
Or 13 or 12.
And I think it was 11 or 12.
Something crazy.
And the Civic passed the visor test.
This is definitely not gonna pass. 3, 2, 1. A little extension.
Extension.
Doesn't count because the sun gets in here.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
A small cup of coffee. So we have Tim Hortons and McDonald's. The Tim Hortons I think is a fail. The McDonald's is a pass.
1000% agree with you.
And the next thing about daily driving this, since it's a manual transmission, their gimmick for this one is that it has auto rev matching.
Yeah, auto rev matching in a base model Toyota Corolla. How cool is that?
It's cool. It's very slow. It's very non-race car.
Well, yeah.
You need to click a button to turn it on, but it doesn't stay on when you restart your car.
I did find that mildly annoying.
But what I do like that restarts is your heated steering wheel and your heated seats.
Yeah, by the way, this does have a heated steering wheel.
They're hard buttons, and the heated steering wheel is one of the hottest heated steering wheels of all time.
This is true. And with the heated seats, you can actually see the buttons, unlike the Prius. And while we're talking about stuff down there, wireless charging, pretty cool. I'll be able to tell you about that when I get my new phone soon, Pixel 3.
And hopefully I get a new iPhone. So I'm gonna bang a few gears before I let you drive and maybe give it a little boot into Cliche Corner.
Go for it.
Very long second gear, very easy transmission to drive.
The gears are overall very long.
And handling wise, it's kind of fun. It's not the least fun. All right, your turn to drive it.
Okay, I'm gonna start off with one thing that I don't like about the outside though. The fake exhaust tips out back.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh, I didn't.
That means we don't have to legally be excited about this review.
Legally, yes.
All right, go for it.
Stop doing that stuff! Come on, guys!
Cliche Corner.
All right, Cliche Corner send. I'm going to automatically downshift into second with my auto rev matching. Honestly, it's pretty good. The traction control is pretty intrusive, but it is a Toyota, so I kind of expect that. But it does handle pretty well. There's tons of body roll, which bothers me, but it is a base model, so I will readjust. And it does have a multi-link rear suspension, which definitely helps out. And I have noticed that it is very comfortable to drive, like suspension-wise, very good.
Yeah, it's decent over bumps.
But what bothers me is the steering. The steering is just very, very light, but I understand that I'm in a base model. This is a Corolla.
Yeah, so for what it is.
Yeah, there's pretty much no feel in the steering wheel, and there's like very little input that you have to give it, but it is what it is.
Is there feel in the clutch pedal?
Oh no, I can pretty much operate that with my pinky.
The funniest part about that is when he got into it, it sounded like, it's like, am I gonna stall it or am I gonna just like ride through it? Like you don't know where it is.
Exactly. It's the lightest clutch I've ever used, and I will now proclaim this as the easiest manual transmission to drive ever made.
It's pretty much impossible to stall.
Exactly.
How does the shifter feel?
The shifter feels great. Like downshifts are pretty crisp. It's very light. Like you know exactly what gear you're in. I really like it.
Would you say it's precise?
I would say it's precise.
This has a pull-up ring just like a lot of the Hyundais do.
Yes, it does.
So you found a new revelation about why certain rings are bad and certain rings are good?
The shifter ring width. So the wider the ring, the more annoying I found it. This has a very narrow ring, so I don't mind it at all.
And the main complaints were coming from the Veloster and the Elantra GT video.
And the Subaru BRZ as well.
Okay.
The WRX, I forget which one. One of those had the good one, the other one didn't.
What do you think of the quality of the auto rev matching?
It hasn't not nailed the downshift, but it is a little bit slow to bring
It's like
the revs up.
super slow compared to the Veloster and the Type R.
Yeah, but I mean, people aren't going to be banging gears in this.
Yeah.
Base model Corolla. Now, power-wise, let's give it some downshifts. Downshift. And it pulls decently. There's not a lot of torque, like down low, it's kind of laggy, even though it's not turbo. It's just kind of like, there's not much there. But overall, like at higher RPMs, it's great.
Do you wish the gears were shorter?
Yes, that would make this more fun.
But if they extend second gear, then they can get a better 0 to 100 time.
Yes, probably. It's more than enough power for anyone that's driving this type of car. It's on par with like the Civic, but I felt like the Civic was a little bit more fun because it was turbo and it had a little bit of lag.
Felt sportier.
Exactly.
And like a better shifter and a better clutch.
Yeah, so let's get into some more Civic comparisons. While driving this, on the interior now, I feel a little bit more cramped in here than in the Civic, just a little bit.
Well, it's smaller.
And that's what bothers me, is that this car just feels overall smaller to me than the Civic, and they compete with each other.
I get what you're saying, like this should be bigger to be a direct comparison, but I guess maybe they're kind of just splitting off and doing their own thing.
So speaking of size on the inside, it does not have much room in the back, especially for someone 6'1.5". There's some headroom because they scooped out the roof, but knee room, nah.
Yeah, and then your eyes are completely hidden if you're tall.
Yeah, exactly, because the hatch comes like really down. And my wife has a Toyota Matrix, and this kind of compares to that. It's kind of the new version of that, but it feels so small in comparison. But this does feel way more solid, way better built. It feels just newer. It feels really nice to drive in comparison to the Matrix.
Okay, let's talk about some interior stuff then.
I would love to.
I would like to start with the materials.
The materials are
Look,
fantastic.
we have soft touch here. This is wild.
So, comparison to a Civic, this interior feels and looks better.
We do have some piano black and some touch points, kind of.
That is what I hate the most. Lots of piano black. Toyota, just stop doing that, please. Thank you.
We have volume knobs, tuning knobs. We've got a separate climate control area, which is very nice to have.
It is very nice to have.
We don't have satellite radio stations.
You have to get the XSE to get satellite radio in a Toyota
All
Corolla.
right, so I guess right there, I'm already on team go buy a Civic.
Yeah.
We have Apple CarPlay.
Yeah, so I'm on Team Civic because this does not have Android Auto. Apparently, Toyota is working on it, but apparently in the United States, this has Amazon Alexa, but it does not have it in Canada, so I cannot test it for you.
Amazon Alexa in a car.
I don't understand
I
it.
feel like Amazon Alexa is to order like soap and like get ingredients.
Yeah, Amazon Alexa, open Google Maps. Like, that's all I want.
It's weird.
Guarantee it doesn't do that.
But besides that, the infotainment seems pretty easy to use. Hard buttons.
Yeah, I give them full points for that, for actually having the hard buttons on the sides.
I have a button issue with the gauges.
What's that?
You've got a little digital screen on the right and you've got your tack and speed on the left, which is nice, analog.
Yeah, I like it.
But the buttons on the left control the screen on the right.
I did notice that as well. And on the XSE, you actually get a digital tack and everything. So I think I prefer this one to the one from the XSE.
We also have lane keep assist and radar cruise on the steering wheel.
But the lane keep assist is not full assist.
Oh, it's lane departure assist, my bad.
That's right. So it'll actually reel you back in, but it won't keep you in the center of the lane.
Kia and Hyundai do that way better.
Exactly. And even Honda has Honda sensing, so I think that works better than this.
I feel like we need to do a proper test one day with like everything on like a closed road and everything like that.
One day it will happen.
One day when we get all that budget.
Yeah. Shout out some company buying us.
Defy Media, we're ready. Down here, we don't have a manual e-brake. We just have the little button e-brake.
Which pretty much every company has now.
But what's cool about this one, since it's a manual transmission, anytime you turn off the car, it puts up the e-brake
That is nice.
automatically. And when you get in the car, turn it on and drive, it pushes right through the e-brake. You don't actually have to turn it off.
Yeah, most cars do that as long as you have the seatbelt on. And these seats are very comfortable. Like,
Yeah.
I've had no issues with these seats, and there is lumbar on the driver's side.
Yeah, for cloth, it's great.
Yeah, and I just want to talk about the interior materials so much more because, man, look at this stitching. Like, that's real stitching.
And
That's
it's
not
soft,
fake.
it's nice.
I know.
And you know what I really like
That's so impressive.
is the visibility while driving.
Visibility is also great.
So I guess we should probably get to the price.
This is the SE upgrade, middle trim, $23,980.
I feel like that's not too expensive for a Corolla.
No, it's not. It's right in the ballpark of every other car in this class.
And let's be brutally honest with the car world, Civics and Corollas don't really break. They kind of just live forever.
Yeah, they're always very reliable.
So I guess we also need to talk about, would you take this? Or would you take a Civic Sport hatch or whatever?
I honestly had more fun in the Civic, but I think this is just a very good car overall. I think if you're learning to drive manual, and Toyota's jumped on the bandwagon of save the manuals and stuff
Yeah.
because they finally have a manual transmission car,
They actually had to teach people how to drive manual day.
which is great. I mean, it's great for them to jump on that bandwagon a little bit late, but at least they're doing it. So I have hopes for the Supra being a manual.
It's not
Toyota.
Gonna, it's not going to be manual.
If they're doing save the manuals for the Corolla, like they better do it for the Supra.
No.
Come on, Toyota, please.
I think this looks way better than the regular Civic,
Oh, I fully agree with you.
but the Type R looks way, way better.
Okay, so if this had a Type R version, it'd probably look pretty good
We'd
too.
have to compare it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put you on the spot. 2019 Civic or 2019 Corolla if you had to put your money down right now. And remember, the 2019 Civic does have a volume knob.
I'm actually just gonna go Civic overall. I think the car is just more fun to drive, it fits more boxes, it passes the visor test, it has Android Auto, and it just generally feels like a really good car.
I think I'm slightly more Team Civic as well because I do like my satellite radio like above everything else.
Yeah.
Apple CarPlay is good, more room for boxes. I think this does look better. I'd probably want to have this in blue more than I'd want to have a Civic in any color.
Yeah, this, if you're into looks more than you are anything else, I think this looks way better than a Civic.
But there's nothing wrong with this car in general.
No, there isn't.
So let us know, Civic or Corolla, which one would you pick and why?
Yeah, don't forget to subscribe, share this video, and then hit the notification bell.
Patreon.com/TheStraightPipes to see early videos and to buy a box. And join our YouTube membership to get some cool flair next to your name.
And don't forget to learn how to drive manual and just buy one of these if you want to do that.
Man, we're really extending this outro, aren't we?
Yeah, just a little bit.
I'm Yuri.
I'm Jacob.
And we're going for a drive. This is a subscription break. Don't forget to subscribe.
Subscribe right now. Subscribe. We didn't do that.